So it's been a really long time since I've done a video, but I felt like it was really important for me to update some of the stuff that's happened this week. Um, all right, so I will just start out saying my husband and I have never owned our own home. So we've actually, this past year, starting in March, we started getting some things cleaned up on our credit and paying some things off. And then we officially were pre-approved in September of 2020, where we actually started looking for a house. And when we started doing that, if you guys don't know, 2020 has been crazy with house rates. So rates are really low, but then there's also not a lot on the market. And at the same time, all the prices are going really high. And since there's not a lot on the market, people are bidding crazy amounts over. It's just really competitive. So we've looked at a little under 20 houses, which in some ways it feels like a lot because we put offers on probably about 20, like 5 of those. Ultimately, we put it on 5 different houses. So it's been a very, very long process. So this past week has been a whirlwind, like emotions, distractions, highs and lows. It's just been crazy. So as I said, we put out 5 different offers over the course of the time, but only looked around, I think, like 17 houses, honestly. And if you think about it, that's really not that many for as many weeks as we were looking. So we started mid-September. It is now officially January 29th. So we even got to the point where we started looking into building last week, because we were like, if we can't find anything, I can't keep going through this emotional struggle and just keep losing out on people. If I at least can put an offer on a house, or if I could at least build a house, then at least know 6 months from now I'll have my own house. But with us never owning a home before, that's kind of just like, oh my goodness. And I've also been working from home for the past 10 months now because of everyone being home for COVID stuff. Sorry. So it's just been such a long journey. Our girls are 3 years old now. We have twin 3-year-olds. They just started preschool on Monday, finally, which is pretty crazy too. Originally, we had my husband's mom watching the girls 2 days a week, and my husband would be cleaning for our business 2 to 3 days a week, and he would be home with the girls the other days. So it actually we just started thinking, like, you know what, we need to expand our hours. We're kind of getting tapped out with our business. So why don't we go ahead and try to expand our hours and try to see if we can get them into preschool anywhere. Well, it's January. Not many places actually open up spots in January, let alone 2 spots. So it was pretty crazy because we reached out to this Christian school that's close by to us that we've been wanting to send them to for a while. And we just said, hey, do you have any spots open for their age group? And they actually had 2 spots open, which was insane because they said they normally don't have 1 spot open, let alone 2, and in the same age group. So we went around and did all that stuff, lots of applying, family interviews, so many different things. And then we find out that we got accepted into the school. And when we did that, that same day that we found out we actually got accepted into the preschool, my husband's mom tells us that she finds out she has to have surgery for some, like, I think it's an aneurysm in her stomach that she's had for a long time. And so they know that that's going to cause her to be out within 6 weeks from then. She was going to have to be out for a while. So anyways, all those details basically is saying that she's going to have 3 to 4 months of recovery afterwards with rehab and just getting back up to speed. So she's going to be not able to help with the girls, which of course she hates because she's really great with them and she's obsessed with them, of course. But she's not physically going to be able to do as much as she does now. She's a very active woman, but she's in her upper 60s. She might even be 70 sometime this year. But she's maybe 68, 69. So, I mean, that's a different battle in itself, which is really hard for her, but I'm just glad that it wasn't like, hey, you can't watch our kids anymore. It was just saying, hey, like, this opened up just in time. So like the timing of them going to preschool worked out really great because it's not like we're firing his mom and it's not like we are lost. We don't have anybody. So if we wouldn't have found out we were like admitted or even started looking into it in the beginning of January, we probably wouldn't have had a place to send them and been really worried about what's going to happen with the business. So all of this leads to us still looking for houses, which has been like anybody that knows us, we've been like really trying to plan for this for years, and we've just never been there yet. And this past year I got a new job. I think I make like, I mean, there's a good percentage more than I used to. Thankfully, I'm very thankful for that, because I know a lot of people right now aren't working, but we've had that increase that helped us during the time when things were slow for others. And then, so we finally were able to pay off a bunch of things this past March, and then finally get to September, looking for houses. Again, put on 4 different offers to 5 offers. Then looking into building and just running around looking at all these houses, literally on, oh gosh, what day was it? Let me look. Was it? I think, okay, so today's Friday. On Tuesday, we looked at a house and on my lunch break, and I just told my husband, I'm like, honey, and we also bring the kids with us every time we go look at a house, for the most part, unless like our parents can help us randomly, but it's just sometimes easier just to take them instead of planning that and running back and forth. So we've been taking them with us to a lot of these open house things where we have to schedule an appointment with a realtor and then figure out if it works with our work schedule, then take the kids with us, put them in the car, then they go with us. And then plus it's like COVID time, so we all have to wear masks. We've not really made the girls wear masks too much. They wear them out at school, but not necessarily we can go see places. So anyways, that's just like a big ordeal anyways, taking those kids with you, making sure they don't touch stuff while you're still able to look at everything and running around and hoping something works out, and you're bidding over, you're thinking about seeing yourself in that house multiple places and times. And so on Tuesday, when we went to look at this house, it only been on the market a day. That's just when we get scheduled. We tried to schedule the day 1, but then the next day is the only day we could get in. I told my husband, I was like weepy, and I was just like, honey, I was like so over it. I'm so over everything. Like this is getting exhausting. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like I know we have to, because rates just are probably going to prices are probably going to keep going up, and rates are so good. I keep thinking it's going to get worse. Like I'm just afraid everything's going to get worse. I'm like, I don't know. I just can't. I need this to be done. Like, I'm just so over it. I'm tired. I'm ready to just move on from this stuff. And it's also really distracting at work. I've only been there 10 months now, and I just feel like this past few weeks or months, it's been a little more distracting. Every time I have to get up, run around and say, sorry guys, I gotta go look at a house. It's literally been doing this since September and still not found anything. And there's times like during the winter months where we didn't look for a few weeks, like nothing was there. There's just not been a whole lot on the market. So with that being said, we went to this house, and it's funny because it's in a neighborhood that I wouldn't have expected. I actually really love old houses, and the ones with like, to me, those have like a lot of character, and I love them. I normally like the ones built in like 1900, of course. But I mean, for having a young family and us being first-time homeowners with not like a lot of cash at hand per se, like, you know, if you got to fix things up, you know, just kind of taking all that into consideration. Should we get something that needs a little bit of fixed up, but not too much, maybe a little bit? How should we handle this? So this house is literally 2 years old that we looked at. It was built in 2018 in a development that, like an HOA development, which again is something I didn't really think that I would want. But then it literally, like those people moved in, I think August of 2019. So they were there about a year and a half, not even, and then decided to move to Florida. So they're selling their house. This house, it's slightly smaller in square footage than I think we've been looking at a lot of homes, but literally it's 2 years old and everything is done. And it also has a tax abatement on it. So so it means for 10 years from the date it was built. So 10 years from 2018, we have no city taxes. And then the last 5 years, so 15 years altogether, first 10 years is no city taxes. Then we have to pay 75% we get 75% off of our taxes. So it only goes up a little bit that last 5 years of the 15. And a friend of mine actually lives in that neighborhood. We'd put an offer on a house literally a week before that on the same street, which is really crazy. It was older though, and there was a few more updates. It was a lot more square feet, but there was still things we'd have to like maybe paint but it would have been nice to still move into. But this house that we looked at has like a fenced in yard. It has a deck already. It has the grass done. It has a lot of upgrades. And we know about all the upgrades because we were just at a builder that literally like 2 days before. So we saw this has canned lights. So it's got this nice island with granite countertops. It's got the bedrooms upstairs, and it has a whole basement for everything we need to do. And then there's like the island and like the peninsula type of area has 4 Borschtals at the one, and then there's also like 4 to 5 you could fit at the other island, which is huge because I just really want to be able to have like family together. So even if all that space is like a little bit like the living room might be slightly smaller or whatever, it was just nice to have all that seating because where we live now, we're 1,100 square feet, no basement, no storage, just an attic. So everything's just on top of each other right now. The 3 bedrooms, I've been working out of my bedroom, which at least is a big bedroom, but now it's becoming storage as well because we're just running out of space. We've been here 3.5 years. Right before we had the twins, we just didn't, I don't even think we realized how long we'd be here. We're like, maybe live here a year or 2, but I really don't even know if we really thought like how long it would be. We just had no idea. But like we've not even hung anything on the walls or anything. We've literally just been like keeping it pretty simple. Literally, like I was joking, like we have TV trays as like our nightstand tables. Like we just haven't even thought about it. We haven't put really any investment into this time because we lived in a nice house before we moved to this one. And we started doing stuff to it, like painting it and things like that. And then they like a year in, they decided to sell it. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I don't know, frustrated by all that stuff. So, I'm sorry, not frustrated. What am I talking about? Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I got a message that came through. So we looked at it and we're like, you know what? This is like a good mix of everything we wanted. Like it has appliances there, which when you buy, you don't get all the appliances. I mean, it just has everything done. A really nice master bathroom and bedroom, another bedroom upstairs, room for the girls, room for an office if we need it. So, it just had a good layout. It was a little bit of everything that we wanted. Again, it wasn't like a mansion, but it was plenty of space for us. It's about 2,000 square feet. And right now, we have 1,100, plus it has a basement. And it has 2.5 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, again, room for an office. And then the basement has so much potential and everything is new. Like, and also I can't believe this, it has like a front porch, which I wanted. It's a porch deck. Fenced in yard for the dog and for the girls, and it looks nice. It's like a nice modern looking, like white and black and gray type of fence. Like it's just really nice. So we put an offer on it literally like that afternoon because we saw it at 12:30. Put an offer in before probably 5, and then they were meeting at 6:30 to go over the offers. And normally in this type of environment, there's multiple offers. Well, lucky for us, there was nobody else to put an offer on. And this seller was very motivated because they already moved to Florida and they're just wanted to take the first offer as long as it was a good offer. They didn't want to waste time. They just wanted to get it done. So they just took the offer and accepted it. So we found out that night that we got an offer accepted, which was so amazing and like such a relief. And after you put in multiple offers, this was our 5th offer, like 5 offers. You've already imagined yourself in these places. So you're kind of like used to the feeling of like being told, no, you didn't get it. And finally somebody accepted our offer and nobody else, like this guy just wants to get to Florida and he just wants to be done with the house, which is really interesting. But I think he has a military background. So I think he likes to move around, but anyway, or maybe people are just bored of being in Ohio when you're stuck in the house all the time. So they're just want a change of scenery, which I can get if you didn't have any connections to being here and you just want to move around a little bit while you can when you're at that stage. So anyway, we got our offer accepted that same day that we saw it and everything. And then even crazier, the next day, my husband goes to one of our clients. He was cleaning for them and they said, hey, we have an envelope for you. Just don't read it until you get home and talk with your wife. Or let your wife, you guys open it together. So it was a card. It was a beautiful card. It's, oh my goodness. I just feel like I should read it. I don't know if I don't have it with me right now. But basically, it just talked about like perseverance and faith and just waiting, and that they had felt like God had put it upon their heart to help us with the purchase of our first house. And so like this was, again, less than 24 hours from when we found out we got the offer. They didn't even know that we got an offer accepted till after they had already written this out. They said, God has put it upon our heart to help you guys with your house. And you guys are doing great. And God has heard your prayer. And you guys are doing awesome. Like, you're doing great. And you're blessed to be a blessing. And I wish I had the wording because it literally hit home because we were so weary, we were so tired. And, you know, many of our friends are already on like their second and third houses now. We've always been like really simple. That's just how my husband and I have been. But you know, we're just ready. We're over like our house falling apart and not having like, I don't know, it's just nothing fancy at all. Like it needs help. It needs work real bad. We don't really like, I mean, we don't really have people over, honestly. We don't have room to. So when we open it though, this is a check for like debating if I should say the amount, but it's essentially enough for a whole down payment. And we just like, because of all the waiting that we've done, it's like you keep thinking like, is it something that I did wrong that I'm having to wait so long? Like, what is this for? And it like hit us so hard because we just waited and waited and waited, and like this was like the reassurance, and they didn't even know. They're like, we talked to them on the phone and thanked them for this gift, this amazing gift of like a lifetime. Like we said, we've literally been praying for this since the beginning of 2020. We've been praying circles around saying, God, like, please provide a house for us. But in the midst of it, please just let you be glorified in the midst of this. Because I just want you to do something cool in this, like something great that you can be glorified in. It's not anything that we did, but it's somehow you're glorified in this process. And when we talked to them, they said, you could use it for furniture if you want. You could use it for whatever you want. And like, honestly, we need all those things. Like, we need money for furniture. And you know, we would have been happy if we did it. We would have got like simple things and kept doing that. And they said you could put it towards the house, or you could put it towards furniture you need in the house, like whatever you need. This couple started in very humble beginnings and didn't have much. It sounds like a lot like us. And they said, we just see your family growing and how hard you're working, and we just wanted to bless you guys. And it just was like that reassurance that we needed, because you just think, is it me? And I don't know, I'm just like feeling so blessed that this is the story that I get to tell. I can't even really believe it, honestly, because like essentially I have enough money to purchase furniture for our whole house. Like we need bedroom furniture. Our girls are still using their cribs, but like we took the front off the cribs for their beds, and they're ready for like a twin bed. And our couches are like a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down. We did get one rocking chair thing from his mom, bought it for us when we first had the girls, but of course that's, you know, not doing so well at this point. And things that just don't match, furniture that doesn't match. Like we have a table that's like his great grandma's table. It's not even a fancy table, it's just like an old table. And I just feel like even though this home is like in a cookie cutter neighborhood, which I didn't expect, but it has like a neighborhood for our kids to play in and go around. And it's also it's also right down the street from one of my good friends, like 5 houses down on the same side. So like if we need help with the kids or help in the summer, our kids actually go to the same school because they have to go to a private school because the schools in this particular place aren't like rated the greatest, but we wanted to send them to a Christian school anyways, and like they can go there from there, and they both go to the same school now. And so it's just like this house had a bunch of the little things that I wanted. You know, it was not like a 2,500 or 3,000 square foot home, but it's literally like a little bit of everything, and we don't have to do anything when we move in. Nothing. Like everything is like done. We have the fence. We have even the little things, like there's like rock driveway stuff, or like rocks on the side of the driveway, like where so you don't have to cut the grass. Like they did some paving stuff. Like I feel like they literally just moved in to get everything ready for us. Like that's what I feel like. It's like it's just ready to go for us to move in. Like a lot of people, when they build, they have to put the grass in, and then they have to put the fence in, and the deck and the patio. Like it literally has all that stuff. We don't have to do anything. And then now somebody just gave us that amount of money to get us furniture. Like, yeah, we're not gonna be living high on the hog for like that amount of furniture, but like we're gonna have our needs met. And just crying and just feeling like, did this really happen? And even still, I'm just like, I'm gonna love being able to go pay cash and not be in debt. You know, even when I talk, so it's been cool because I was talking to my finance guy. I got to tell our realtor. I got to tell my family. People are like, they gave you how much money and what? They just gave it to you? Like, and honestly, like, this is like something. I'm just like wanted to record this. I should have done it earlier and a couple days ago, but like, it's just like God has always done things like this where he reassures me, like, and it's usually financially, like he just reassures me over and over again. And I said, if I'm ever rich, like I want to be like this, where I can help people in this way. Like I don't know, I'm feeling like really blessed this year too, even though things have been hard with like the house and waiting, but like I have a job and making like 60% more than I did maybe a year and a half ago. Like who gets that kind of like raise? and then like this house, like I don't know, I just know it's all gonna be okay, you know. And I felt like God like said to me, and I know I've been dealing with my own issues with God like lately, just the world's really crazy and you just think like what's going on, and I feel like this is saying like, see, I've got you. Like I think it's just like so simple, and it's not like he's like being pompous, but he's like, why do you worry? Like what's your deal? Like I've got you. I've always had you. So why do you question? And I literally cannot believe that I am able to say someone gave me that amount of money for my family so we can have furniture that's not financed and not in debt. And I know a lot of people, when they first buy houses, they get in debt. And like, I'm so grateful for this amazing testimony and this couple listening to God, because they said, we thought about giving it to you before, but we didn't. We didn't feel like the timing was right. And then, so like literally this whole week, our girls started preschool, and then we got our offer accepted. And then the next day, somebody gives us like a gift like this for our furniture. And it's like, it's such a crazy story, and it's amazing. And you know, it just shows you God knows. Those are like, there's 3 different ways that I feel like we're like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, God's like, I'm here for you. And I hear you. I hear your cry. He's heard your prayer. And if this testimony can mean to anything to anyone, I hope that you guys can hear, like, he's heard your prayer. Like, he's heard it. And, you know, we also own a home cleaning business, so it's really interesting because we can't ever film anything in this house because you can see these yellow walls. We have no space. They're like yellow off-white cream. This is going to show you too. Our landlord hasn't painted that panel and the next panel from a year ago. And again, we just didn't care. We thought we were moving soon. We said, no, it's fine. It's not hurting us. Like, it's totally fine. It's been an amazing week with emotions, and now like going through all the paperwork and stuff. And it's just crazy. And then having to work with the finance team to say like, okay, this man and woman gave us this amount of money. It is not a family member. They're like, what? They're just like, I've never really heard of that. Like, it's really the type of loan we have to really be careful of how, you know, when changes like that come through in your finances. So it just feels like it's all meant to be. And also, like, Brendan just found out today that one of his clients, they decided not to go with him anymore, not because of what he was doing, but I think they want to save money and pay somebody in-house at their factory to do the cleaning. So, you know, I think if that would have happened before even just getting this money, I think I would have thought, you know, like, it would have really stressed me out with us being in like a contract for a house. But after what's happened, I just find this reassurance that like we're moving to another area. So there might be something that's even more like needs more of his time and attention than this small thing that seems like a big chunk to us. But I feel such a reassurance that it's all going to be okay. So I just had to share, and I know it will be. I know he's having a little hard time dealing with it, but so today is, I think, January 29th, and tomorrow's our inspection, and hoping all this stuff goes by really fast, and that one day I'll get to be posting that I'm in my own house, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for it. It's just going to be so great to pull up to a house, and even just like the neighborhood, the sidewalks are nice, the streets are nice, just things you don't think about. So Anyway, I had to share this and even capture just for myself, even if nobody else sees it. Just what a blessing this is, and just a generational blessing that I think for our girls, that we're going to be able to tell them, like, do you remember what happened when we bought this house? Like, this house is a blessing, and we are blessed to be a blessing. Like, this, like, God remembered our prayers from a year ago. Like, I forgot that I said, like, I didn't forget, I just didn't think about it really, that we said, God, let your, like, let you be glorified in this. Let there be something crazy that happens. It did. Like, he remembers those little details. And I'm just really overwhelmed this week and in awe and stunned and appreciative and thinking, like, I can't believe this is me. I can't. In some ways I can. In some ways I can't. It's just really amazing. And just what a testimony it is. All right. I just had to share that amazing news, and I'm sure I'll have more to come. Thank you for listening to my long video, but I had to capture it late at night. Good night.